Hey everyone, Mike here from MLive.com, joined by Justin Rogers. Lions back at it this weekend, Justin, after taking a week off. Doesn't get any easier in the second half of the season. In Green Bay, a place in Wisconsin they haven't won in forever. I mentioned that to James ahead of this week. He's like, I understand. It's been since 1991 to be precise. Obviously the odds are long. Packers are 6-2, pretty good team coming off 2 straight losses. You know they'll be sharp. How do you see this one breaking down?
That streak is not ending this year. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history. He's coming off 2 tough losses against elite defenses. I imagine he's going to play with an edge to him. The Lions are giving up over 73% completion percentage this year to quarterbacks. Yep. It is just a toxic matchup for this defense. I was just joking, like he could throw for 700 yards if he wanted to. Obviously, that's hyperbole, but I think Aaron Rodgers will light up the Lions this week.
I mean, surprises do happen, upsets do happen. I just don't see it happening here. I'm with you. It's not just a matter of a good team playing a bad team, but it's the matchups they're in, and this is a bad matchup for the Lions. They've allowed a 70% completion percentage from opposing quarterbacks in 6 of their 8 games this year. 6 out of 8. It's not like one quarterback went berserk and it distorted their numbers. It's every game. And I think it's by design a little bit too. You know, there's a lot of like dinking and dunking they've done against the Lions, and they've had success with that. Obviously, not having DeAndre Levy has hurt the Lions in that regard, and obviously Aaron Rodgers is very capable of doing the same thing some of the other quarterbacks the Lions have faced has done, and he can run too, and that's a big issue we saw emerge from the Lions defense in the last game against Alex Smith of all people. And the Chiefs, Alex Smith had, I don't know, it's been a while now, I can't remember exactly what he had rushing, 80 yards or so against the Lions, and obviously Rodgers can move too. So I think it's a pretty bad matchup when it comes to the Lions defense.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked all year about DeAndre Levy's absence and Ndamukong Suh's absence. Well, hell, the Packers lost Jordy Nelson, and then they lost Devontae Adams for a stretch there with the ankle injury. And that offense just keeps humming because Aaron Rodgers is a great player. I mean, there's no other way to paint it around. I know Lions fans don't like him because he's on the opposition, but he's going to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history when it's all said and done. On the other side of the ball, you know, the Packers defense has been pretty ferocious. They've got 23 sacks. They're holding opponents to 57% completion percentage. The Lions' protection hasn't been all that great. The good news for Detroit is Packers' run defense isn't all that good, and Lions haven't been able to run the ball consistently all year, but they've shown signs of improvement. And if they're going to win this game, moving on the ground is going to be key. Controlling the clock, keeping the ball out of Rodgers' hands.
No, I agree. I don't think we've seen too much progress from the Lions' offense all year in any way. But if there's one area, I would say, well, until the last game, I would say it was the offensive line that had actually gotten better. I thought the couple of weeks prior to the Chiefs game. Obviously, the Chiefs game actually did happen, so that's something you can't really say about the Lions' offensive line at this point. But since Joy Ball got back from the time off with the ankle and the Achilles, he's looked better. And had the 38-yarder in the last game against the Chiefs. And so maybe there's some signs of a run game emerging. And even if it's not on the ground, Theo Riddick out of the backfield is turning into a weapon. And that's something the Lions have exploited more. And since Jim Bob Cooter took over, you've seen that more too. Less Abdullah, more Riddick. I'm not necessarily opposed to that either. I think you'll see more Abdullah in this game after getting only 1 carry against the Chiefs. But I still think Riddick and Bell will be featured in the backfield. I think that's a good move for the Lions. I think they've just shown more. Forget the ball security stuff. They've just been more productive, I think, throughout the year than what Abdullah has. Since that first game, he's really struggled. And so we'll see what happens. I think the Lions do want to take more shots downfield. But under Cooter, I don't know if it's going to happen. I think a lot of that will depend on the effectiveness of the offensive line and how many of those issues have been corrected.
Yeah, I mean, you need a run game to set up some of that play action stuff. You need time in the pocket to let Calvin run. I don't care if he runs a 4.3 40. That's 4.3 seconds you need in the pocket that, Matthew's getting about half of that right now. So I don't know. I in my prediction, I made the game lower scoring than it probably will be. I think I had it as 26-13. It's kind of in par with the line, but really it could be
Yep.
It could be another massacre if the Lions can't run the ball.
I've got 35-17 Packers, and it could be even worse than that. The Lions have perfected the art of the garbage time touchdown, and so I'm not even sure if 35-17 is indicative of how close this game's going to be, or lack thereof. I really think the Packers are going to have no problem whatsoever, and it's not just a matter of them being very good coming off of 2 losses, or the Lions being very bad. I think it's just a piss-poor matchup for the Lions. I don't think there's much of any kind of way they can escape Lambeau with a victory.
Of course, this is the week they're going to win because it means nothing, and it doesn't look like
it would be in a way fitting.
This would be appropriate.
Right. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it right here.